Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to City Skylines Green Cities. We're on the Cleanup Crew Challenge here on the PS4 and we are progressing pretty nicely, I think. So last time out we added in our first couple of bus routes. You can see there's the pink buses kind of running along our main dual carriageway, and there's one of our sort of very, very pale yellow buses, I suppose, that's also running off. There are two existing routes that we created. We do need to add in some additional routes. So you can see we've still got a lot of our city that isn't covered or isn't serviced by bus routes. We do need something running through here. Kind of like the idea of having a bus that kind of loops around here. So let's bring a bus that runs through this sort of area. Again, I'm just dropping in a few kind of spacing stops just to create the route itself. Actually, that's not a bad place for a turnaround, is it? Although maybe we could bring it sort of over here. I don't know, maybe we'll get a second bus route that way. Yeah, let's do a second bus route over that way. So let's bring the line this way. We get it to stop here. Then again, it's also an access point into the farm through that route for people walking. And we can also create some footpaths where we need to as well. And then if we bring the route sort of back up this way, is that enough of a coverage route? Yes, I think so. So we want to kind of follow back along this route here. Again, these stops are just thrown in as place markers at the moment, and then we'll loop around that way to restart the route. There we go. So we've got our nice little sort of loop route there. Pretty short one. Doesn't need to be too big. Let's start off by sorting out the stops along the main drag itself. So we're going to need a stop there. Let's move this along a little bit. Push it to there and stick a stop on the opposite side of the road. Let's do a stop here. Oops. There we go. Let's move that stop as well. Don't need them to be quite so close together. And we can drag that stop round to there. Let's move that stop to there. And that stop to there. And then we want a stop, say there. Just move that. Oops, just started a new route. There we go. We put it there, I think, just on the entrance to that area. Let's pull this one back a little bit to there. Then get a stop there. And then a stop there. And there we go. And again, you can immediately hear and see the positive impact that bus route is having with buildings upgrading, arrows pinging, new people being born into the expanded houses. That's going to have a nice little positive effect on our population. Not a massive boost, but a boost nonetheless. I want to have a bus that runs through here somewhere as well. So let's see. Where is going to be my loop point? I could start here, I suppose. I'm just trying to decide whether to run down this line here or actually along this road here. I think we'll run down this one here, so then it can kind of draw people from both sides Or actually, if we start here. Oh no, that was just a cut through, wasn't it? That wasn't the tram. Where's the tram? Tram's there. So maybe we could do a pickup somewhere around here. Let's just do a pickup around here, look. So we start a line here. Bring it down here. Now, do I just stay running down this route here on the other side of the road down there, or do I actually loop in through these side streets here? Kind of like the idea of perhaps looping in through these side streets over here. Come down this way a bit. Like so. Run along the bottom here. And then what we'll do is if we loop up to here. Come on. There we go. And then link back up over here. And then once again we can kind of loop back on ourselves this way. Again, we'll mess around with the stops once we're done. We're just plotting the route at the moment. Bring that up through here. And link up that way. I'm starting to think, actually, it might be a better idea if we were to put that stop there. And that stop there. Take that stop out. There we go. Now we're not turning back on itself or trying to cross over itself. That makes a bit more sense. And that's not a bad little route. So let's start to space this properly with our stops. So we definitely want to stop here on the end. So we're right next to our tram stop there. That's going to be an important pickup point there, I think. And let's put a stop there as well. And then we've got another tram route just there. Yeah, let's leave those two stops there where they are, because they're, again, pretty straight cut across the top there. Bring these along here. I'm going to want stops either on this end just here or just here. Let's put them here on this corner. How's that going to stick them? We've just created an extra stop somewhere, haven't we? There we go. Just doubled up a stop on the same side of the road. So we put that in there instead. There we go. And again, immediately you can see the impact these stops are having on the surrounding area as we're creating a positive transport network. Oh yeah, that's a school, isn't it? That's one of our schools. So we definitely want to leave a stop there outside the school. I was thinking of sneaking it around the corner, but it'll do just there. Let's move these along a little bit. Let's move that one to there, perhaps. And that one there. Like so. There we go. And we can put in a stop here. We'll move these ones. I don't know why, but a small part of me just loves watching the people go ugh and move to the stop when we relocate one of the stops. You just see the swarm of people get up and move further down the road. And I must admit, there have been times when I've deliberately just moved stops just back and forth just to watch people running up and down the pavement. I know it's quite sadistic of me, but I can't help it. Let's try a stop there. Is that too close? No, we can kind of get away with that. And then we've got stops there, and then we've got our loop around here. Yeah, we just have the one stop on that side, I think. There we go. So that's our third bus route. We still have all of this area here, look, that has no bus support. So we can run a service through there. We could even do something through this section as well. We've got good coverage through there. We've got nice little coverage there. Obviously, we've got our university loop just there. So let's look at a bus through here, running around this area perhaps. I do kind of like the idea of having a bus on this side of the road as well. So let's start with the service there. Let's bring it through this way. Down here. Again, is that really strictly necessary? Because we have got this route here, haven't we? Might just get rid of this route completely, actually. Although maybe having another route that runs this way. Oh no, again, we've got that transport route there, haven't we, which can run to the university bus line. So again, not a major issue. Yeah, let's take this line out for now. And let's look at maybe having a line over here instead that can run over here. So if we bring this route this way, bring it down here. I suppose there's no reason why we couldn't loop it around there. Back up this way. And then when we get to here, bring it through this way perhaps. Very short little route. Possibly unnecessary. We may end up deleting this route going forward, but we'll keep it like that for now. Stops there and there and there are fine. Let's put a stop in here. Stops there. Put stops there. Stop there. Pull this one back a bit. To there. And we'll pull this one back a little bit. to there. And then... then we'll leave it at that. Yeah. Okay, so... I suppose, yeah, we've got a lot of space through here that could have a bus route, couldn't it? It's just a question of where we run it from and to. So now I'm thinking maybe we sort of have it running through here, up this way, and then have it pick up somewhere over here. That might be a better idea. So let's start a route here. Bring it past the cemetery. Run it through this kind of spine of this block over here. Do a little loop around through here. Back up this way. And then we can take it up there and link it that way. So a very short little route over here as well, but does what it needs to do, I suppose. So, oh, actually, we've got a few little bits of offices over here, haven't we? We could maybe run it up through the office district instead. We'll take that stop out for a second. Let me drag this up to here. I don't know, just part of me always thinks that it's a good idea. I don't know if it actually has any kind of positive impact or not, but part of me always thinks it's a good idea to have a stop near a cemetery. If you've got a cemetery nearby, put a stop next to it, just in case, you know, people do want to go and visit the cemetery and pay respects and stuff. I don't know if it actually makes a difference in the game, but we'll do it anyway. And then we've got our kind of crossover here between our tram and our bus, running through our little office area over here. So bring it back onto the sort of residential area over here. Stop there. Let's move this one to there. Our stops there. Put our stops in just there. Let's go drag these back one. It's that swarm of people running to the new stop. Stop there, that spacing's fine. Then over here we've got our stops. Yeah, that works. There we go. Oh, we have a full cemetery. Speaking of cemeteries, let's get that emptied. There we go, and that should empty directly into our crematorium right next door. Should do, doesn't mean it will. Look at this. Look at this lovely swath of blue water around it. Well, almost blue water. It's still a little polluted in this little corner here, but look how much that is looking cleaner now. It is gradually coming to us. Again, you know, it's still a long way to go, but it's definitely improved. Definitely improved a lot. We've got some extra cash to play about with as well, so I'm gonna throw in a few more of these, because they are definitely having an effect. Still quite polluted over here. Let's throw another one over there. I'm going to relocate a couple of these as well, just so we don't spend way too much money. Let's look at relocating this one sort of here, I suppose. This one we're going to relocate to there. That one I'm going to relocate to there. And this one, I'm going to try and push right in front of the pumps there. Say, some of these are really having an impact, some of them really struggling. So maybe changing the order up a little bit will help. We'll see. Let's take a look at our transport routes on here now. Let's see, bus citizens. We are providing 1,143 people, transport per week with those bus routes. That's a lot. That's a big improvement. It's bringing in some decent money for us as well, which is good to see. We still have good demands. Our population's gone up by about 1,000 thanks to those bus routes that we dropped in. Obviously we still haven't touched the taxes. We're still paying, charging our citizens 12% across the board for our taxes, and our population did stagnate. Actually, it dropped down to what, about 20.4, didn't it? So it's gone up by over 1,000. We've gained 1,200 or so, 1,300 people as a result of improving those transport links. So the number of people that are using the bus is a pretty accurate reflection of the increase in population that we've had, which is really encouraging to see. You just improve your transport links a little bit, and it can have an impact, a positive impact. Maybe not a massive impact. It depends on the size of your city, depends on the number of routes you add in and how good your transport network is, but it can definitely cause some nice improvement in your workforce of manoeuvrers. Let's put in a footpath as well to our farm. Like that. Try and improve our connections. We've got a bus stop here, haven't we? So let's see if we can squeeze in a footpath here. There we go. A little shortcut for anyone who wants to get a bus to the farm. Let's wait to see if anyone's going to use that path. Probably not, but you never know. Oh, no, there we go, look. We are getting some people using our footpath, which is exactly why we stuck it in. What about this one? Anyone using this one? Yep. We've got a few people using that one as well, so they are definitely having an impact. Making it a little bit easier for our people to get around. You know what, let's... Those pig noises. And the cows just mooing incessantly. Let's add a path along there as well. Let's link that all the way up. Let me take that out and actually build from there to there. There we go. That's better. Now it's all one linked path along there. And then they can just kind of hop along the top of that road there. Oh, straight away, look at that. Yeah. People actually using all aspects of that path. Some actually using it as a shortcut from there to here to get to the bus stop. I mean, that's kind of cool. So where are we going to expand to next? That is the next big question. Do we come down this side? Or do we continue to work along this area over here? I think we come down this side, simply because it's a bit cleaner and a bit clearer around here. I've still got those pumps over there. I want to rebuild my sort of water pumping area over here going forward. And until we've got this kind of cleaned up and we can relocate those over there, I can't really move that stuff, so we'll have to leave it like that. What is our next milestone, though? That's the important thing, because that will show when we next unlock stuff. Next milestone is just a few hundred people. That'll give us the solar power plant. After that, we need 36,000 people. And that's what I'm looking for next, is the eco water treatment facility. Now that's the same as the sort of standard water treatment facility, but with the eco one, this pretty much purifies the water. Again, at a cost of a much reduced pumping capacity to a standard version. But it will mean that we're pretty much pumping nothing into the lake. We are pumping reduced levels of pollution into the lake with our current sort of eco water outlets, but these water treatment facilities will pretty much purify the water. So they will all but eliminate any mess going in there. I think that's one of the reasons why we're struggling to deal with the pollution in the lake so much, is that yes, we've got loads of garbage collectors in there, and we are doing what we can to pick up any waste and clean that pollution out of the water, but we're still putting pollution into the water. That water treatment should stop that from happening completely, and then those garbage collectors can just deal with what's there until we can get it clean enough, and then we can just get rid of them completely, or at least get rid of a lot of them. Maybe keep one or two near the pumps just to be on the safe side. So we need to get our population up by another 15,000 people. That's quite a stretch, or 14.5. That's a big sort of step. We haven't done any high density stuff yet. That's something we can look at going forward. We do still have this area up here. This is just regular offices, I believe. Did we put a district in up here? No, we didn't. So let's create a very small little district just here. This is going to be a little IT cluster just here. There we go. Franklin Park. Very, very small little district. We want to go to industrial specializations. Past that, we want office specializations. Here we are. So you've got the standard no office specialization, which is what we've got just there next to Franklin Park. And here inside, we're going to put an IT cluster in like that. So this will give us lots of very highly skilled IT jobs. Now we obviously need to zone that in. So we've got some IT buildings there. And let's see what these look like as they go in. These could potentially get very tall. Very tall indeed. Oh, straight away we're getting a big skyscraper going in. This is just at basic level, don't forget. You know, as these buildings upgrade, they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's a funky looking tower, isn't it? On the corner there. I like that. The size of these things next to the standard office. It's huge. Miserable weather again. And I'm also going to turn on... We've had it turned off for a while now, but I'm going to turn it back on again now. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The day-night cycle. Because I want to see what some of these buildings look like lit up at night. Now that we've had a lot of growth in our city, and a lot of these buildings have upgraded as well. I want to see what they look like with the lights on at night. I want to see how it transforms our city. So, yeah, you can definitely tell where our IT cluster is, can't you? It's this just sudden whoomp of skyscrapers have gone up. Very few small buildings just there with the little plazas in front of them. I kind of like that. And then we've got some small to medium to very large skyscrapers. So yeah, be interesting to see what that looks like at night time, and it really does stand out on our skyline there, doesn't it? Head and shoulders above the rest of our city. We've got our eco sort of housing over here. You can see that that looks much smaller. Even though these buildings are all well upgraded now, they look so much smaller than the other sort of standard residential buildings that you see. They're much lower, like single-story buildings. do look nice, though. What's this big red building here? Organic corn. It's a shop of some kind. Healthy weeds. I really do like the look of some of these new buildings. There we go. And I'm wondering if it's maybe time for us to think about adding in a little bit more of our... there we go. The rain has stopped. Oh, no. It's stopping. Clouds are breaking. There. Now we go. Now the rain has stopped. I'm wondering if it's worth us adding in a bit more of this eco-specialization. Trying to see if we still have that same kind of collapsible issue that we had before. I do like the idea of maybe turning this whole sector over here into eco. Another upgrade dropping in just over here. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So let's look at... of course, as soon as I start to build, it's getting darker over here. I think the sun is starting to go down already. Let's look at bringing this road along here. And I'm thinking of changing this road type using one of our mass transit road types. You know, the boulevard, single lane boulevard with trees along the edge of our lake here. I think that could be quite pretty. Yeah, there goes the sun setting in the distance. Now we get the chance to see what our city looks like at night time. It's been a while since we've done this. There's our biodome and our eco farm. Very nice. Move over to our new IT cluster. All lit up. We've still got power lines there, haven't we? We can get rid of those. We don't need those in there anymore. Let's take these out. Yeah, that might even give us a little bit more zoning space. I think we built them around the back of the zoning to avoid impact. Yeah, we did. So they're all okay. Just going to drop another little office just there as well on the edge. Yeah, our city's looking nice. Our graveyard is finished emptying. Good, let's turn that off. There we go. We'll turn the emptying off so we can now start putting bodies back in the ground over there. It's starting to come along, isn't it? So, yeah, we're going to build along this sort of side of the water here. Yeah, definitely. Even at night now, we can definitely see a lot more blue in our water. These garbage collectors finally doing what we need them to do. But as I was saying, I was thinking of upgrading to the large avenue with grass. So we'd have this running along our waterfront here. Going to mess up the zoning a little bit. I'm going to pause while we do this because I'm going to have to rezone some of these blocks, as you can see. But I just like the idea of having a nice picturesque road running along the waterfront like that, especially now our waterfront is actually starting to look a little bit more attractive. So let's repair this zoning. Fix the damage that we've done. We're going to have all of these houses get rebuilt as a result of this, and some of them are going to have less space to build in as a result of a wider road. But I think visually it'll look better going forward. So I think it will be worth it in the end. Is there a house there? There is, isn't there? Let's take that out. Keep that as a block. Maybe we'll get something a bit bigger in that space. There we go. Missed a square there. It's all looking good through there. And obviously this is where we've just started drawing, so we'll leave that for now. But let's see what happens when that starts to zone back in. It's going to continue upgrading our road along here. So we'll have some pretty narrow houses in places along here. Some of them is actually improving their zoning space a little bit. Not many of them, I'll admit, but starting to get some of those new houses spawning along here. This is what I want to see. I want to see a nice, pleasant waterfront all the way along here. Don't forget, we do plan once the water clears up enough. In fact, it's almost clean enough over here, I think, for us to maybe start thinking about it. Is to... I need to de-zone that little corner, don't I? Yeah. I want to start thinking about putting in that floating pier that we had. Where is it? There we go, got the fishing island. So I kind of like the idea of that going in. Still, again, a little bit close to one of those garbage collectors. Let's try that. Let's see how that fares just there like that. The water's reasonably clear here now. I've got a house here that needs to come out as well. There we go. So we've got our kind of border road that runs along there. Really, it would be better if we had that tile there, wouldn't it, as well? So we could move across and link these sections up a bit better. We'll kind of make do for now. So let's bring some roads off here. We've got different types. Oh, I've got the bus lane on there. I must have switched across without even realising. There we go. Have to switch those over. There we go. So let's start building a new... Come on, just line up. There we go. Start building a new little area over here. And I'm trying to leave some spacing because going forward, I know that we're going to need a main road that's going to sort of run through here, connect up over here perhaps. So I'm thinking ahead to possibly, with this road, upgrading this to dual carriageway. I might do that now actually. Look and see where it follows. It runs down to here and then stops there, doesn't it? I don't know then. Maybe we'll think about that. But I want to have the opportunity to run a sort of a main road through the heart of this area over here. We've got the freeway connection over there, so when we get that tile there, we'll have access to a freeway connection there too. So again, we're not pumping all of our traffic out through that junction there. We'll be able to split it and have different access points. That's something else I've struggled with in the past, is trying to put too much pressure on certain junctions. Well, I'm going to try and be a little bit smarter with that this time around if I can. So I'm going for a kind of a, almost like a ribcage design, I suppose, with the way I'm curving these streets around here like this. Yeah, that kind of works. But I want to break away from just having endless kind of ribbed roads running through there. So we need to split that up a bit going forward. Let's put in a sort of connecting road. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, which is good because it isn't. We'll probably do something similar over there as well, and over here I kind of want to link that around this way. Just noticed we've got a little bit of space that hasn't been zoned properly there. There we go. Might see a little bit of change to that area going forward. Lovely kind of setting sun in the distance. Gives a really nice kind of visual just there as you look over the boundaries of our new expansion that we're building over here. You can just kind of see that shadow fall, and you spin it around and the sun hits the side of the buildings. It just does look very, very pretty, doesn't it? The only problem I have with the day-night cycle is it seems a little bit too fast. I suppose we could always slow time down to run at a slightly slower speed going forward, but I don't know. We'll think about it. But we're pretty much out of time again for this one, so we'll pick up the construction of our area over here next time out. We'll start to zone stuff in. We'll add in some services, some schools, police, fire, all that good stuff, and we'll continue our expansion around the side of the lake over here, filling up this kind of new block that we have. We can even go all the way around to kind of the bottom edge of the lake over here as well. We've got a lot of space that we can zone into, and we do need to put a lot of space in because we need to have an extra, what, 14,000 people move into our city going forward, just over 14,000 people. Do we get a new tile with our next milestone? Please say yes. We do. Excellent. So, oh no, wait. That's our next milestone. No, we don't. We don't get a new tile until we hit 36,000. Ah, that's a shame. I was hoping to unlock this tile here and gain access to the freeway as soon as we hit 22,000. That's not going to happen. So now we're going to have to be a bit more careful about it. But yeah, we will continue expanding into this tile here. We may have to kind of do a bit more work over here as well. Or maybe over here in this available space to kind of not overload ourselves too much down here, because we're going to be sending a huge amount of traffic through this area all the way through down to the main road here, and I do want to balance that out a little bit. So a little bit of thinking to do as we continue to expand, but we are going to push on and try and get up to 36 grand in terms of a population as quickly as we can, get that new eco plant up and running, and then we can rebuild our lake a little bit better, get a proper water area into the side of that, and really finish off this expansion. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more City Skylines Green Cities and the Cleanup Crew Challenge here on the PS4 very soon.